Привет, я Калле.
Calle, from what age did you take interest in football?
I've always liked football. From a young age, I was watching the Premier League mostly in England, and I got a Manchester United jersey from my dad when I was, maybe 10 years old, and ever since I loved Manchester United.
Do you know any Russian football club?
Yes, I watch the Champions League every year, and usually there's at least two, CSK and then St. Petersburg is usually in there, so I know those teams very well, and I've watched them play many times.
Tennis is another your hobby. Do you play well?
I'm okay. I wish I was better at tennis. It's more of a hobby. I love playing just for fun. In the summer it's good training, and it's nice to be outside when the weather is nice and play with your friends. So it's a big hobby of mine, yeah.
Do you take a big interest in tennis, and do you give much attention to tournaments?
I like to watch whenever possible, like Wimbledon last week. It's fun to watch. Obviously when the best players are playing against each other, it's usually very good tennis and very fun to watch. So whenever I can, I like to watch, yeah.
Favorite player?
Federer has always been my favorite guy, yeah.
According to Twitter, you take a keen interest in politics and science. Tell us about your interests besides sports.
I just think, usually when you're at the rink, it's always hockey, and then you think so much about sports that it's fun to do something else. So, when you sit on your computer, you always see like articles and stuff that's pretty interesting to read. So I like to get involved. I like to, read things that are not sports related, just to get my mind off of the hockey and to, think about other stuff. So yeah, I enjoy politics and science, yeah.
You like to know everything?
Yes, I enjoy reading, articles and stuff like that, so.
What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, that's a tough one. I have a lot of movies that I enjoy. I like, the Batman movies. One of my favorites growing up was always Saving Private Ryan. But I enjoy a lot of movies. Movies is something I can sit and watch, all weekend. It's nice to relax and just sit back. So I have too many favorites to pick one, I think.
You wrote about cross-country running during training camp practice. Could you compare this running with something?
Well, it's like the long distance we did. Well, we've been doing a lot of different running here, but the cross-country we did it today as well. It's 8 kilometers, and it's up and down. It's very hilly, so you always run, uphill, and it's way harder than normal running. It's definitely different than all the other cross-country running I've been doing before. So it's nice. It was fun to do something else and different training. It's definitely really hard. Today was pretty hot outside, and we were doing it. So it's fun, to see different way of training and how the strength coach and the coaches here get us ready for the season. So it was a different experience, but it's good training.
In Russia, this practice it's normal. It's part of big work. And
yes.
In Sweden.
I think it used to be more long distance running. It's not as much anymore. I've never ran in the forest where it's so hilly like we did here, where it's up and down all the time. So that was different for sure.
What is your preference to spend holidays?
I like to just relax, I think. I love beaches, anywhere where there's a lot of palm trees and you can just go swim in the ocean. That's a good spot for me.
Extreme?
I like to ski, so usually hockey season is when you can go skiing, so I don't do it too much, but if I didn't play hockey, I think I go skiing more.
You played in KHL already. What Russian city and trip is the most memorable for you?
Oh, there's a lot of memorable ones. I think since we made it with Prague to the finals, we went to Magnitogorsk so many times, and going back and forth in the final and just hoping you're going to win it all is very memorable for me. We were in the same hotel, 7-8 times, and it was very intense. It was 2 weeks of finals, and I remember it very well. So that was a memorable trip.
And I remember you had problems with airport in Magnitogorsk.
Yeah, I think one time we had issues. We were a little bit delayed, or there wasn't staff or something. But overall, I think it was a pretty good experience. Playing the finals. Obviously, we wanted to win it, but I remember it very well.
Please remember any interesting story from your childhood.
My childhood was very good. It's a lot about sports. In the summertime we have a vacation home that's by a couple lakes in Sweden. So we go there, and we go swimming in the lake, we just relax. I would go do a lot of training or go cross-country running or stuff like that. So I think spending time at our vacation home in the summers when school wasn't, when school was out for summer break, that was definitely like, a highlight every year.
Our goalkeeper, Nikita Bespalov, like fishing. What do you think about this?
I like to fish. I'm not a big fisher, I don't do too much, but I don't think my patience is good enough. I will sit out there for an hour and then I want to go do something different. So I think I like when there's more speed, like tennis, instead of just sitting in a boat and fishing, but fishing is fun sometimes.
Now you have practice in Finland and boring city, only fishing.
Yeah, it's, we fish. I room with David, so we have a lot of fun in the room, so I'm sure we'll come up with something to do.
Who is the most devoted fan? Who looks your every game?
I mean, growing up, it was my parents, mom and dad, and my sister too. They always went to the games when I was in Sweden. When I started playing outside of Sweden, they're watching on the computer and they would travel. And now my wife watches a lot of the hockey. We have a little son too, and he's been to, more hockey games probably than most 1-year-olds. So I have a lot of fans in my family that, support me and watch my games and sometimes even come watch my practice. So they've always been there. Now I'll answer the questions from the fans. Did you try to eat okroshka? Do you know what it is? I do not know what it is. Is that bad? Maybe I have to learn. Borscht soup is my favorite, so I eat that all the time. Almost counts. From whom from the Sibir teams did you play in the same team earlier? Did you know anybody from Sibir before? I played with Ulström. We played in Prague together. But I think that's the only one. No one else. So a lot of new guys, but they all seem like good guys. So far, so good. Why did you choose Sibir? Well, David Ulström, obviously is a friend of mine, he told me it was very good here. He really liked it last season and he knew he was coming back. And from talking to him, talking to my agent who was talking to the team, it just seemed like a very good fit. I know it's a young and very hungry team that likes to work hard. So I think that's the reason. I also remember when I was in Prague, we came and played here, and the atmosphere was really good. The fans were really into it. I think after one period we were down 4-0. So I remember it was a very good atmosphere and a very good city to play in. So it was an easy choice. Did you make a snowman any time before in your life? Yes, all the time. In Stockholm, we usually get snow. Not always a lot of snow, but usually. And yeah, when you're a kid, you go out and make a big snowman with a carrot that's the nose and stuff. So that was fun. If any Russian songs are popular in Sweden, and if they are, can you sing one? I don't think I know any popular songs in Russian in Sweden. Not that I can think of right now. I've heard some on the radio now, so I'm starting to recognize them, but I don't know how to sing them yet. Maybe after season. Did you expect to see bears in the streets of Novosibirsk? No, I did not. Being from Sweden, they always say, like when you talk to someone from maybe USA, they think there are polar bears in Sweden in the streets, and no, I didn't expect that to be around here. Maybe if you go hunting somewhere, but no. What famous Russian people do you know? Well, I know obviously all the hockey players that are really big in the NHL, Ovechkin and those guys. Putin, the boss of Russia. Besides that, I think singing and stuff like that. A lot of like the Russian artists, pop artists, are not very big, I think, in Sweden. So for us, it's hard to know those names. But I know the sports stars and obviously the people running the country, and Putin is obviously the big boss. So I know some of them. What are my first impressions of Novosibirsk? They're good, very good. I've been here for 2 weeks now, and I like it. The weather's been really nice. I was expecting it to be a little bit cooler, even in the summer. It's way warmer here now than it is in Sweden. In Sweden, it's maybe 20, 25, and it's been about 30. And this weekend it'll be like 32, so it's very nice. We're staying right in the city and right in the middle, and it's been great. The restaurants are good, and training is going well. So my first 2 weeks have been really good. Why did I choose number 11? I had number 11 last year when I played in Sweden, so it was kind of easy just to stay with the same number, and no one on the team had 11, so 11 it is. How many points do you plan to score in a new season? That's a good question. That's hard to answer. Hopefully as many as possible. Points is, it's something you always want to do and always strive to do. But if you think about it too much, you might get difficult to score points or score goals. So, I'll do my best to score as many as possible. I promise that. Спасибо и до встречи сезоне.